Okay, 200 grams of your starter and 300 grams of cold water, possibly slightly warm, not boiling. I forgot to video that bit. Once you've done it, put it in the mixer, or I measure it straight into the mixing bowl, and then I just mix that mix together like so. Next 500 grams of strong white bread flour. I've just used this time, doesn't matter what it is. So put the 500 grams in the mix, not when it's mixing, otherwise it'll go poof everywhere. There's the flour. I just add it into the mix after it's been mixing. Oh my god. Oh shit, okay. All right, not too much lost. Okay, 500 grams of flour in there. Mix that slowly. And once it's combined, I then add the salt, which is the next step. I've used 12 grams of Anglesey sea salt. And once your dough is starting to mix, I just pour it in the edge. And then I turn it up and I mix it for quite a long time at various speeds to make sure it pulls and stretches it all over the place. Ta-da! I've added probably a tablespoon of extra water because it wasn't pulling off the pan. So you want it to not be stuck in the pan when you're mixing it. And once you've mixed the bread for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then you take it out and put it in, well, I put it in the bowl that I measured the flour in. It's just a plastic bowl. I use a spatula just to pull the dough off the hook. And that seems to do the trick really well. So, oh, hang on, I'll put this down. So then I just put the dough in the bowl. Like that. Cover it with cling film, leave it for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Okay, so that's it, covered in cling film. I'll leave it like this for 1 hour, maybe 1.5, and then it's stretching after that. Because you've used 200 grams of your starter, you need to put 200 grams back. So put your starter on the scales, put it at 0, add 100 grams of whichever flour you're using to top up your starter and 100 grams of water. I'm using 8 grain flour from Tesco's. It's just what we've used from the start and it seems to work. This one, that's Tesco's, but otherwise use wholemeal flour. So, oops. I always manage to use about 8 spoons when I'm making bread. I haven't worked out the secret of using less. So, 0, add 100 grams of this. Oh, it's wholemeal bread flour, by the way, not just wholemeal flour. If you don't have this one. $100 grams, and then add 100 grams of water. And I've got this phone on the kettle, so I need to move the phone. Maybe put it on the peanut butter. Okay, then I add the water. Then mix it. Push it down the sides, Dad says. Michael doesn't care. He says it doesn't matter. the rubber band at the level. That's why Dad cleans the edges, so you can see where your starter is level. That's just so that you can see if it's growing. I then put it back in the fridge because I don't make bread every day, so I don't need the starter to build up too quickly. Okay, it's been an hour. One wet hand. And go to your bread, and this is where you stretch it. So with your wet hand, you pull it up and stretch it. I would use my other hand to hold the bowl, but I'm holding the camera. And then stretch it over. Oh, hold the camera, Michael. Okay. Okay, it's filming. Just keep going. All right, so make sure you get in the bowl. So you just pull up, and you want to stretch the bread as much as possible. You go around in circles until you've stretched all the bread, and pretty much keep going round until it almost comes out the bowl. Go in the bowl, Michael. Go in the bowl. In the bowl. Stop with your modern take. No, go out the bowl. Out the bowl. Okay, so when you finish stretching, just leave it. Put the cling film back over. Leave it for another hour or hour and a half. Press stop. Press stop. Okay, the final bit. So there's a few things you need. You need to have a clean surface and sprinkle bread flour onto the surface. We're going to stretch this, and you need to have lined your, what's this called? Your pot with greaseproof paper or baking paper, whatever this is. So I've copied Dad's trick of 2 strips just going crisscross through the pot. So number 1, make sure that you've got wet hands. All right, number 1, you stretch the dough in the bowl. So the same as before, you're just hooking it up, stretching it, folding it over, turn the bowl. Same again, turn the bowl, stretch the dough. And at some point it will release from the bowl. When it releases from the bowl, put it on the flour. Wet your hands again because they get dry. Same again, use one hand on the dough and stretch it up and just keep turning it round. Do that about 4 times. After you've done basically, you know, the 4 sides of the bread, oh, that's number 5. The flour is going to help you roll it. So you put the the dough on the counter, and you're going to roll it towards yourself. And what that does is it creates, and I turn it 90 degrees, I do it again, pull and roll, turn it 90 degrees, pull and roll. What it does is it creates a nice smooth film over the top for the top of the loaf. That's what that's for. So you don't get this funny shaped loaf growing in your tin. I think 1 more time, maybe 2, until when you look at the top of the dough, it's really smooth over the top. When you're happy with that, I'm going to wet my hands a little bit to put the dough in, otherwise it's going to stick. You pick up the dough, put it in the pot. Ah, yay! Put the lid on it and leave it to rise for 5, 6, 7 hours. There we go. Okay, I'm actually going to leave my dough to rise overnight tonight and then cook it in the morning. So I'll see you in the morning. Oh, I can't turn the phone off because my hands look like this. Ew. Dough phone.